Hey, what's up everyone? So this is going to be the 91st opening that I'd like to share with you, which is the rotated Racoon dog. So it's a very short sequence opening, and of course it's within one of the official named openings within the Othello, commonly used Othello apps. So let's run through the sequence quickly. So it's essentially F5 and open up the diagonal opening, and then leading up to this D6 move, which is quite standard shape for a diagonal lead up. And then instead of going for the usual cow opening to C5, you go C6 instead. So this one definitely gives you upfront disadvantage, and almost everyone will know the best move over here to play E3. So typically, if you want to do this opening, you're after a slight disadvantage, but going for a huge surprise factor so that you can catch your opponent off guard. Somebody who might be studying the book, you might want to outmaneuver him, and you're confident in terms of giving him the surprise. So over here, after the typical response, for sure, white will play e3, being the best. So even though the software over here recommends f3 as the best move, so something interesting that I noticed about openings having a slight disadvantage when you open it, you have to choose variations that make sense, variations that will cause your opponent to make mistakes. So I think typically f3 lead up is easy for white to respond to c4, followed by e7. This is what you'll play, and white jumps out to g5, and then if you play g4, chances are white may consider f4, but f7 is also possible. So this kind of a sequence and exchange is so easy for white to actually play out the sequence. So this is probably not the variation that you want to consider. One of the interesting variations that I've seen is either d3 or even from China's top player, Mr. Song Yan. I think I've seen him play g6 before. So it's kind of like a change up to kind of catch your opponent off guard. So once your opponent feeds off either ends, you can probably sweep the entire row, give him a little bit to think about in terms of how to break this kind of two row bar. So assuming if white plays g5, you can either choose f4 or like kind of symmetrical, you can do the sweep and make him break the shape. So essentially, this is the rotated Raccoon dog opening, and I recommend this for only advanced players and above who wants to kind of find a variation against maybe somebody whom you think is a book player but is not as strong as you in terms of the basic fundamental playouts, so that you can provide for some certain level of variation and give him an element of surprise. So hopefully you like this opening and you can consider using it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.